Hello and welcome to the Auburn on Main podcast. My name is Jonathan Glover, Communications Manager for the City of Auburn, and this is episode 65. Last week was not 65, it was 64. I think I said 64 as a caveat to cover myself, and I did. So welcome to episode 65. And we are joined today by our Postmark crew. We've got Jess, Irvine, and Amanda Jenkinson, both arts assistants for Postmark. Thank you for joining us so much today.
Hi, guys.
You made a trek across the street, basically. I think it's
it
2
was
blocks
a super
away.
far walk, yeah.
You made the long walk.
But it wasn't hailing, so I was happy.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It was raining today still, right?
A little earlier.
A little bit.
It was raining really bad last night. Otherwise, it's been pretty good. Angee, how you doing?
Oh my gosh, I'm doing so well. You didn't introduce me.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then Angee Pagosian. And then co-host Angee Pagosian.
I do my little wave,
Angee,
you know?
hello. Now the camera's on you. You should wave now.
Hi.
There we go.
All right. Yeah, I'm doing really well. I just did that thing. Yeah, like in interviews. We just did like 80 Spark Hire interviews, and then you'll hear them go, yeah, great question.
Oh, yeah, they will, yeah, after every single one. It's because you remember doing it. You have to record a video after watching the other video.
Yeah,
it's kind of awkward.
Anyway, no, everything's great. Lots of fun things. I've hosted like twice at our place the past weekend. One was with Ashley and Camille. Great company. But yeah, other than that, just I'm trying to read Project Hail Mary before we see it in theaters next week. So
Oh, how far are you?
0 pages.
Okay.
Nice.
So you're really trying to read it.
I'm gonna after I leave today, I'm gonna go read. Like I'm gonna go to a cafe and just read. So
Oh, that's cool.
That sounds really nice.
Which cafe?
Cafe Spot, Federal Way. Wow. It used to be Cafe Noir, and
I've been meaning to go. It used to be Cafe Noir, which I used to visit actually quite often.
me
And I was really sad that I left.
But I wonder if it's the same owner. I'll have to ask. But yeah, it'll be my first time going there. It was like it was a place I used to go to all the time with James and all the friends. So any hoozles, I'll let you know how it goes. But anyway, how are you guys doing? How are you doing?
Good. I saw Project Hail Mary. I've read it too. Did we talk about that last time?
I don't think last time.
I don't think we did.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. There's still a lot going on. It was really good. I liked it a lot. Have you either of you seen it?
I have not seen it or read the book, but I have friends that intentionally read the book before seeing the movie. So what did you think comparatively?
I read the book like 2 years ago, so I don't remember the specifics of it. I felt like it hit all of the spots I would want it to. I remember it being the movie's a lot funnier than I thought the book was. That's because I think Ryan Gosling just makes me laugh a lot. He's really good at that. I thought it was fantastic. I liked it a lot.
Cool.
I think you'll like it.
I'm sure I will. I'm trying to see it twice in theaters at least before it leaves theaters because I feel like it's one of those movies that you have to see in theaters.
Yeah,
so.
I should probably watch it again. Let me know if you cried during it.
I probably will. I'm
I
a
cried a
crier.
little bit.
Did you cry?
Yeah,
Oh,
but then nobody else I was sitting with, I was like, oh yeah, remember when we all cried at that one part? And then we're like, I didn't.
No. Okay, well, if you guys want to see it again, we can make it like a team outing.
Yeah.
Go see.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, a little collab. Okay. Anywho.
But how do you feel about reading books before seeing movies though? Do you try to do that?
I don't do it intentionally, but I do usually try to read books before I go see the movie. If I know it's, I don't know. If I know it's coming, I'll read the book ahead of time, but I don't like reading it too close to the movie because then I feel like I compare them too directly.
Yeah.
So, and they're always different.
I mean, I refuse to go see it in theaters until I read the book.
Really?
I actually
Wow.
didn't watch The Housemaid in theaters because I was adamant on reading the book first.
Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't
Oh, it's
because
pretty good.
it's still on my Kindle wait list. So.
That's a book. I feel like you could read that in an afternoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's like very pulpy. It's Frida McFadden. I don't know if you've read her before,
No.
but it's like very quick.
Sure.
Project Hail Mary is a little more dense, and just in terms of how big it is,
Yeah.
I think that would take a couple days.
Okay. Do you have
good, though.
strong opinions about that, Amanda?
It's a mix. It really depends for me. Sometimes I could care less, and
Yeah.
sometimes I'm really like, I need to read this before I go. But generally, I'm not like, I don't know. If I want to see a movie, I'll go see it.
Let me get this a little closer for you.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. I actually have strong opinions the opposite. Several times I think the movie's better than the book.
Controversial.
And I feel like if I read the book before I see the movie, then my brain is doing the thing where it's like, oh, but they didn't do this. But like, is that a good thing or is that just something that I don't like? But then also, if you watch the movie before you read the book, that's the problem. Because then if you try to read the book, now you're just picturing Ryan Gosling.
Imagining their faces.
So now your imagination it's messed up.
Yeah, that's what it is for me. Mm-hmm.
I read Harry Potter years ago when I was in high school, and then just never saw the movies as a kid, never saw them for many years after I read the books. And so I always had this picture in my head about like what the world looked like, what the characters looked like. Of course, I was influenced by media I had seen. Of course, you know, you can't get the picture of what's his name?
Henry Radcliffe? No.
Main character, Harry Potter.
Oh,
Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Henry.
Yeah, Harry Radcliffe. Blanked out so hard there. You know. Yeah, Harry Radcliffe. But like other than that, the scenes I had just this pristine picture in my head about what everything looked like, and then the movies ruined it for me.
Yeah. Didn't the movies came out? Because I remember this. I was, I don't know, like 8 or 9 when the first one came out. How old was I? Maybe I was 10. I don't remember. The movies came out while the books were still being written. So for me, it was like you had this picture and then you see the movie, and then now every other book that comes out, you already have the actors and everything in mind. So that was funky. Anyway, moving on. So Postmark, you're here to talk about Postmark.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes,
definitely.
we work there.
And
Yes.
you're both doing a lot of fun stuff. So the first thing we wanted to talk about was the upcoming calls for artists opening in the spring. So it is currently springtime, and you have a lot of stuff going on. So tell me about that.
Yeah, well, right now we're in the middle of April. We typically open our calls for artists in May or even early June. And there's a lot that goes out this time of year. So we will be releasing on Call for Entry, which is a website that artists can go to apply for different calls for artists. Posted on there will be our Community Center Gallery, our Cheryl Sully Gallery, which are in the Community Center and the Senior Center, respectively, both in the same plaza. And then our public calls for art are the Art on Main and the Vault Gallery. We are going to open up a call for the Poet Laureate, which is a once-in-3-year opportunity. The Poet Laureate is a 3-year opportunity. So once you're accepted...
What is that?
It's, how do I explain it? It's an official title for one person. Maybe they live in Auburn. I think actually the requirement is that they live in Auburn, but you're a poet, and so you will attend our monthly poetry nights. You are writing poetry about Auburn. You're sharing literary art around Auburn. That's just kind of like a position of honor. And so our Poet Laureate now, Mateo, he has been doing a lot with programming, different poetry events and stuff like that, like the upcoming National Poetry Month celebration on April 29th. That's what I have my notes for. And he's just been doing a really good job, but that position closes soon. So he's coming up on the end of his term, and we're going to open up a new call for artists for that. Yeah.
Like a poet in residence.
That's awesome. I definitely know a couple people who could do that for sure.
Good. Yeah, we'll be sharing it soon. So.
And then for the other call for artists, are those, what kind of art is eligible for that?
Let's see. So for the galleries, like in the Community Center and the Cheryl Sully, it's definitely more 2D art oriented. Some people can apply with smaller sculptural work if they want to. We'll put pedestals up in the Community Center. And then the Art on Main and Vault, those are definitely more installation based. So you get to see, so right around the corner from us actually is the Art on Main, and you can do whatever you want with that space. You can make a really cool 3D layered piece that takes up all of the walls, the ceiling, whatever you like, or you can create like a specific piece to fit in the space, kind of that thing. And same with the Vault. So it's a smaller, like 62 square feet. It's pretty small inside the Postmark Gallery that you have free reign over. You can do whatever you like. We do like to see a lot of more immersive art pieces. So less just putting paintings on the wall, more you're creating something specifically for that space.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm assuming both of you probably go to museums and check out art all the time, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why I had to like qualify that, but I just imagine that that's like something you like to do. But then also I'm thinking like when I work all day and I'm writing, the last thing I want to do when I get home is write. It's like I would also be like, if you're like, no, not really. I get kind of burned out. But no, I was going to say, so one of my favorite art installations I've ever seen ever, and if you've not heard of this, I apologize. I can talk about it all day, actually. But It's called what's it called? The Visitors. Have you heard of this? It's by this Icelandic fella, and it's a setup where it's usually in like a very big room. He's got 10 different projectors set up, and what it is recordings of this video that he made, and I think it was like 2012, where they went to this house in upstate New York, this old like mansion. And every person sat in this different room and they recorded themselves playing the song together. They're on headphones and they're all playing, but you can only hear the one person depending on where you go in the room. And you can only hear that one person. You can kind of hear the other people and they're all playing together. And it's like this repeating song for like an hour. It has like this rising and falling. And it's like, it's right at when day is becoming dusk. So it's like the light is changing and it's like very romantic and it's very weird. But like when you're doing it, you're walking through and you can only pick up the one thing, and this was right. So like when I saw this, it was in Atlanta, and this was 2023, so COVID, obviously. It was like very profound because you're like, everyone's together, but they're separate. Which is kind of like how we were feeling. And it's just like you would sit there and you'd watch it and it'd be like one part in the loop, and you'd find yourself standing there for like an hour just to see the other parts of the loop. And then when they're all done, they all kind of converge into one room, and then they walk outside and they're still singing as they like go down this valley. It's like incredible. So if you can check, is it The Visitors? Let me see. The Visitors.
Is this like a still continuing traveling installation?
It goes everywhere. I just saw it in San Francisco, I think last year.
You've seen
The
it
Visitors
twice.
installation. That's how good it was. I've never I don't know if this is like a thing in the art world, but like the thing that like reaches out and grabs you. There's probably everybody has that one, and that was the one for me where like I could not stop myself from just standing in that room. In this song, it's like a something that he wrote, and it's like repetitive. It's very repetitive, but like on purpose. And it's one like I think The Guardian called it the best art installation of the 20th century or something like that. So it has like accolades for sure. But yeah, it does travel around. I don't know if it's ever come to Seattle, but it's very cool. If you Google it, I'm sure you could find it somewhere. It's usually at like a Mopop or something.
Well, I hope it comes to Seattle. That's
it's very cool. I probably talked it up way.
Cool.
I don't want to like set the wrong expectations, but yeah, something like that where you're talking about art in a room. That is a room that is necessary for that.
Yeah.
But it's like there's something about it where you can watch a movie or listen to music or anything, but like when you go to an art installation and like you really get the thing that they're trying to show you, or maybe you're not, right? Maybe you're getting something unintentional, but it's like, oh, it's there anyway. Now it's your thing. There's something really powerful about that.
I think I will always be chasing that click.
I
think every time I see a new piece, sometimes it doesn't always click.
Yeah.
But when it does, it's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never like gone to a city to see an art installation. It was really weird for me, but I did that just for that.
That is really cool.
Plus it was San Francisco. That's like really close anyway.
I feel like we just got to like listen to Jonathan talk about something he's passionate about for a minute, and that was pretty cool.
No, that was great.
I love that.
It's and it's named after what is it? ABBA's last album before they all split up.
Oh, okay.
So that's it's got very like Scandinavian, and he's got like he's like a true artist. From everything that I know about this guy, like I think that the words that he's singing is a letter that his ex-wife wrote him as like a breakup letter, and it's about the words are like something about once again I've something my feminine energy or there's like a lot of crazy weird things about it, and it's just really cool, and it's like people playing piano, and he's like in a bathtub with a guitar.
Love it.
And he's like,
that's great.
You don't see anything. He's got bubbles, but
Sure.
Bubbles.
just all the different areas. It's just really cool. I highly recommend it if you can ever check it out. The Visitors is what it's called.
Was there a particular? Thank you.
Yes,
for sharing
you're
that.
so welcome.
Hope we can see that one day for sure.
Yeah,
Auburn,
if it comes to Seattle, I would go.
location?
Yeah, absolutely.
Has there been an art installation that you guys have really liked in Auburn? Like anything in particular that you can think of? Didn't you once have something at the Postmark?
I did.
Yeah.
Did you? I had no idea.
Oh, really? Oh, I guess it was before you started work. It was early 2025.
Oh, okay.
So that would
That's exciting.
January to April, I had my own installation in the Vault Gallery.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I'm
Demand to see pictures later.
Okay, yeah. What was it? Tell us about it.
It's weird. It's a giant sculptural piece. It's a soft sculpture, so I started out making an armature. Funny story, we have an A-frame sign that goes out our front door every day to show people that we're open. And one day it was blown into the road and mangled by a car. So I took that home, and that was the base for this piece. It's kind of the solid metal way it's standing. And then I built around it with styrofoam, built around it with another layer of upholstery soft foam, and then created a skin for it that is completely patchworked and patterned, so it fits tightly onto the form. And that was the piece that kind of like lived in the vault gallery. It was his home for a while. I did a backdrop for it. That was the installation.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Did it feel, because you literally work there, so was that pretty cool to come in every day and see your creation right there?
Kind of, yeah. It's a really weird experience when you're in a place the entirety of its open time and you see people come in and visit it and spend time with it. Something that you don't really have the pleasure of witnessing as an artist. Say you have something in a gallery somewhere an hour away, you're not there every day, so you don't get to see people enjoy it. And it was really, it made me appreciate creating something for the space. Yeah,
I love that.
That is awesome. It's also rare to like create something and see people's reaction to it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of things you put out there, you never see what they actually think of it. And sometimes in a good and a bad way, but that's really cool.
it was a really valuable experience. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Postmark just had an open house, right?
Yeah, we just had an open house for our print studio in the lower level.
Yeah. And Angee, you were there.
I was there.
You
It was
recorded
so
a video.
fun. We had a great time.
It was great. And I met your husband.
Yeah.
Which I was, I approached Kevin a couple of times because I was like, oh, do you want to be in this video? And then eventually he was like, well, this is kind of weird, but I'm Jess's husband, so I'm kind of here supporting. And I was like, oh, well, that's okay. So, yeah, that was super cool. And that's not the only reason it was cool.
That was your main takeaway.
But yeah, it was so cool seeing that space because just like a year and a half ago, you and I went to write the magazine article about that space and it was empty and there were construction people in there, and now to see it have so much love and community and like people and art being made, it was just so cool. And obviously seeing you guys in action, right, and helping community members make art was great. So
That was the most rewarding part for me was I had my little live t-shirt printing set up, and so people would like bring in their shirts and then we'd print them, and I imagined that I would be doing the printing for the whole session, and but people were actually like pretty brave. I was like, do you want to like pull the print? And they were like, yeah, and they came over and they'd pull the squeegee down the screen, and then you lift the screen up and people's faces were just like, whoa. And it was really cute. So I had a great time just watching people do that over and over.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you, and part of like the push for on social media is that there are studio memberships, right? It's like a new thing. Can you talk about what that is and how that works?
Yeah, absolutely. So part of the goal with the lower level studio is to offer a membership where artists can pay a monthly fee, which is $40, and then basically come in and bring their own projects to work on in our space. And printmaking is great, but it can be hard to do on your kitchen table because some of it requires a lot of equipment. And so we are basically providing that equipment, and then people can come in and use it and make whatever cool stuff they can think of. So some of the stuff is like, just too big to have in your house. Some of it is like there's chemicals, all sorts of stuff that can go into it. And so the print membership is kind of making that accessible to people, just bringing that in so that people don't have to deal with that in their own homes. And so it's $40 a month, and you get access to, we have equipment for screen printing, we have equipment for relief and etching, we have equipment for so many kinds of printmaking, and we're going to keep expanding that too. And our goal is to eventually have a metalworking space and a glass fusing space, but those are more on later down the road because we just finished building out the print studio. So the membership is focused on print right now.
Oh my God, I love that. And then how many people can be there at once all working together?
It kind of depends. I feel like we could have, anywhere from 7 to 15 people, depending on like space needs and things. It also kind of depends on who needs what equipment when, but that's kind of the goal, is to offer as many people as we can possibly cram in there. So
yeah. And is this something that people can kind of come if they're new, and like there will be a staff member to help people, I'm assuming, right? Or how does that work?
So the membership is mostly intended for people that already know some sort of printmaking method and have a basic familiarity with the tools. But then if you are somebody who doesn't have that already, we're going to be teaching classes every quarter on how to do those techniques. So then if you did want to come in and become a studio member, you can take a class with us, and then after that you can come in and use the equipment.
Oh, I'm obsessed with that.
Yeah.
And it sounds like there's also a $20 drop-in. If
Yes.
people don't want a membership, they can just pay $20, which
For just
is
a day
pretty cool.
pass.
Maybe they just want to make one thing. So
Yeah, depending on what you can cram into a day, you can get a lot in there. So
yeah, I'm obsessed with that. I love that you guys have a membership program, and I'm so excited to see it grow. And all the classes that you guys have been doing at the Postmark. Like James just did the painting class.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he loved it.
You didn't do it?
I was supposed to, but then I realized I was going to New York at the same time. So
She's going to be better than you at painting now.
I know. So anyway.
Did you know that her and her husband paint together?
I didn't know that you paint
really?
together.
Yeah.
You left that out.
Yeah.
We paint
What do you all
together.
do?
Like acrylic.
Yeah.
Yeah. He I think so. When he's in the military and he was deployed, and part of his care package, I sent him this like little watercolor mini paint set.
I love that.
And so he tried watercolor for the first time, and he didn't like he likes acrylic more. Same.
Watercolor's
but
hard.
It is hard.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know what? That's now that I think about that. That's how they introduced me to painting in class. Like you're like 8, and they're like, "Here's painting," and they give you watercolor, and you're like, "This sucks."
It's because
I
it's
can't see
probably
anything.
easier to
Painting.
clean.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Easier to clean.
But that
and,
made me not want to paint anymore.
Yeah. And then it was always like the
Then you'd get the paper all wet, and it would start to crinkle, and you'd be like, "It looks
The
like,
wrinkly paper drives me
it
nuts.
looks terrible."
Yeah.
And they would give you the old paint that like it wouldn't even get wet anymore because it was just so hardened. Yeah, I could see that ruining somebody's love for painting. I'm glad that you got into acrylic though.
I like how saturated the colors
Yeah.
are and how you can it's like thick. It's not this like thin stuff, but I've seen watercolor work that's like really good, and people who make like greeting cards and birthday
absolutely.
cards and I feel like knowing how to draw helps, because if you can draw and then paint inside.
Sure.
Because if you don't have anything to draw on, it's just kind of painting into the abyss.
Yeah.
We have some really talented drop-in guests that do watercolor, and they're always so proud to show us their newest completed work. One of them actually just got her stuff up in a gift shop in Seattle, so she was really happy for that. And then, yeah, we have a guest artist, Amy C, that comes in and does watercolor with people. So
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
love.
It's amazing.
they're really
man.
talented. Over
Oh,
there.
I bet
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
What the heck?
And then, there's drop-ins every Friday for watercolor still, right?
Yeah. Every Friday, Amy C comes in.
Yeah.
She does Chinese gongbi painting, which is another form of watercolor. That's 10 a.m. to 12. Yeah.
Drop in and do that.
Or if you haven't heard of it, you should check out gouache. Have you ever heard of
Yeah.
that before?
I have not.
It's kind of like an intersection of like acrylic and watercolor, because it's like more watery than acrylic, but you get the saturated colors of acrylic.
I think
So-
I'd like to try that for sure.
Yeah.
I also really want to try like what's it called? Like the crayons that are like really gooey.
Oh, pastels?
Pastels.
Oil pastels, yeah.
That's what you're going to say, right?
Yeah.
I thought pastels. I was like, pastels is a color scheme, but
Yeah.
that'd be a cool.
Yeah.
What do you, I've asked you this before, and I don't know if you've answered. What are you painting? Are you doing landscapes? Like, do you go out to nature and be like, okay, I'm going to paint this scene that I see? Are you like thinking of stuff? Do you guys have like themes? Like, we're going to paint the Titanic?
No,
Or?
James does like he likes more abstract stuff, and abstract stuff is the stuff I like the least.
Okay.
So I like more realism, though it's not real at all. So I don't know. Sometimes I'll literally just start painting. Like I'll just take my little paintbrush and I'll just start and see where it goes.
Okay, that's cool.
And then sometimes I'll go on like YouTube and get some inspo, or I'll I'll Google like paintings, and I'll be like, oh, I'll just try to do that, and then I'll paint stuff. And James is so cute. I don't like clutter, and so when I paint something, I'm like, what do I do with this? And James will take my really crappy paintings and he'll put them up in his office.
That's
and I'm like,
sweet.
it's so bad. And he's like, I love it. So I love it.
Are you gonna
It's great.
are you gonna frame any?
No.
Oh, okay.
I had to think about that. I'm
You
like,
should
I don't
force
think
your
so.
mom to put some on her fridge. That could be fun, right?
There you
My
go.
mom did hang up one of the paintings that Chris and I did together because they were pretty good because we went to a class and painted
okay.
them. And then after a while, she's like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I was
I'm
going to say,
done
like,
with
what age do you age out of that? 13, 14?
No, I was like 20 when I made
Oh.
it.
Okay, 20. But like you'd come home with a thing and they're like, all right, I'll put it on the fridge.
Yeah.
It's like eventually
Yeah.
they're like, all right. I think they just lie to you. They're like, oh yeah, we lost it. Oops. Throw it away. I wanted to talk about, so there's a new gallery show, right? That's happening
Yeah.
now? Because
Air closes, tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, yeah. Like,
April
so by the time
tomorrow.
people listen to this,
Yeah.
it'll be closed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. April 17th is technically the last day, but our next exhibition is opening August. Well, what are my dates? Not August. The gallery would be closed for 2 months, but April 23rd is the opening, I think. Yeah, I'd have to double check that. And it's 3 artists, Sarah Dillon, Marit Berg, and Melanie Reed. It's called Discovered Narratives. It's definitely more open to interpretation. And
Some really cool pieces, though.
yeah, they're really cool pieces. Some paintings and some collages. It'll be cool. Yeah. And that
absolutely.
opens.
Yeah, and I like the gallery so much. Well, one, I just like going into Postmark. It's a really nice building. But the gallery is just free, open to the public. Come right in, check it out. There's sometimes, I don't know if every single one has, but there's like a little video thing. You can like put your headphones on and listen to the artist explain about their piece, or just go stare at stuff like I did at that one thing that one time. The other thing was I have studio tours. What is that?
Ooh,
Artist studio tours.
Yeah. So we wanted to bring back studio tours. It's something that we did a couple years ago, and it ended with COVID, where we have artists that we're connected to in Auburn. We take a shuttle to each one of their studios. So maybe they do printmaking, maybe they do ceramics, and give the artists a bit of time to talk at each of their studios. And then we come back to Postmark. And we're going to have kind of a closing reception, maybe some snacks, maybe an activity, and another showcase of the Postmark Artists in Residence. So that'll be on August 22nd, Saturday. And yeah, so far we have a couple artists lined up. I don't want to be completely solid on that yet, but yeah, that's kind of the studio tours.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's so on our website, auburnwa.gov/postmark, you can find a lot of information about this. If they follow you on Instagram, that's probably also a good repository for information. And that is, what is that Instagram? It's
Auburn.arts.
Yep.
Auburn.arts.
Auburn.arts.
And then
Easy.
also follow the City of Auburn, where
Follow.
we repost them, we collab with them. We did the video on the open house, which was really fun.
Thank you, by the way.
Thank you. The heck? We are, by the way, we are like 68 followers away from 5,000.
Whoa.
So be
That's
the
actually
last
exciting.
68.
Yeah.
On Instagram? Wow.
That's cool. Wow.
Good.
Do you think your sister could help us?
My
Narina?
Oh yeah, Narina's
She's our
so
number
good.
one fan.
Yeah, she's
I think she has to have a notification.
something.
So she got something. As soon as we post, she's like, bam, I'm there.
I love that. You need those people in your corner.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, she's going to be literally here
Yeah.
in summer. She's interning for Human Services.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
So-
you guys will meet
That's
her.
awesome.
Yeah. Anyway.
Actually, well, the listeners have. Remember,
Oh,
she was on our
right,
podcast.
she was on our
she was on the
podcast.
podcast. She sang. She's a really good singer.
wow.
She's
Yeah.
like
Oh my
scary
gosh.
good singer.
How do you know?
Because we had her sing. Remember?
But that was not even the full potential.
I know,
of her.
but like, I don't remember what. Something came up. I just like asked them to sing something together, and they did. Sorry, there's like a
They're
ringing.
good.
Is that your phone?
That's not me. No.
Oh, it's me.
No, it's you.
Yeah, we asked them to sing something. They like harmonized. They didn't even harmonize. They both had the same exact pitch, but they did it like on the spot.
Wow.
They're both really good.
really good.
Yeah. Also, I'm just gonna put this out into the universe that one of my goals is to one day have like my photography either in the Postmark or like some sort of a community art space. So community members, are you competing with me? Like, get in there, submit.
Yeah.
But I just
Photography
think,
is a hot market.
yeah, I love photography,
Yeah.
especially like people portrait stories.
Ooh, very cool.
You should apply.
Maybe not this time because I feel like I'm not ready. But ooh, but what constitutes as ready? I don't know.
Don't self-censor. Just put it out there. You
just
never know.
Put it out there.
Yeah.
Just got to do it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Are
Okay.
we?
Is there anything else before we move on to some events?
No, I think
Cool.
we're good.
Okay. Well, so speaking of Postmark, this episode, I think it releases the 22nd, that's right. April 22nd. So that Saturday, we have Auburn Symphony Orchestra, old and new. That's a Postmark. That is so step into a world where Baroque elegance meets contemporary color. Old and new blends the timeless charm of trio sonatas by Bach and Quantz with the rhythmic spinking. Okay, sorry, I'm going to stop reading it. So there's an event there. There's some information on the symphony's website. It's at 7 o'clock, 7 to 8:30. That is a ticketed event. It's not free, but you can buy tickets on the auburnsymphony.org website. And then also, this isn't at Postmark, but Chicago Tribute Authority. We have a Chicago tribute band.
Wow.
That's at Green River College. Also on that Saturday. There's a lot of people in this photo that it looks like are in this tribute band. I don't remember Chicago having that many people, but it's got to be a very full sound.
Chicago, like
The band.
oh, the band, the musical one. I didn't know
I
there
would be
was
more
a band.
interested.
Oh, you know what? Let me read this. So it says experience the music of Chicago like never before. So this might be the musical music of Chicago. Or it could be the band. You'll have to find out.
Oh, okay.
This is at Green River College. You can buy tickets on our website. So that you go to auburnwa.gov/calendar. There are tickets available there. I think it is a rock band, though. Chicago, right? Everybody knows Chicago.
Right.
You don't know them? You guys don't know Chicago?
I'm not
Maybe
surprised there
they-
is a Chicago, but I don't
Well, yeah,
specifically know it.
I mean, Jason's he's probably like pulling his hair out. I know Chicago. There's like, was it 25 or 6 to 4? 25 or 6.
Oh,
Is that Chicago?
I know Chicago. Wait, I know the song.
It's that one. There's that song. I don't know how old, Jess, how old are you? I'm
32.
Okay, so you're right. So I'm a millennial too. Do you remember like those commercials that would be on TV? It'd be like 2 a.m, and there were those really loud CD commercials. They would be like the love songs, the blah, blah, blah. And if you pay now, okay. Well, they would play this, and there was always a Chicago song that's like, you're the reason in my life. It's like that. And it would be so loud, it would wake you up if you fell asleep on the couch. Anyway.
One day it's going to be, I don't know if you're Gen Z, but one day it's going to be us. Like even right now, my little sister doesn't know who like certain artists are. And I'm just like Selena Gomez. I'm like, she's like, you know what I mean? And
I'm
it's going to
surprised
be
by that
us
one.
one
That's
day.
surprising.
Yeah.
We're going to be Jason and they're going to be like, who's Taylor Swift?
Yeah, exactly. And you're going to feel so old. You're the inspiration. That is the song I'm thinking of. It's a love song.
Okay.
Okay, so there's that. There's Peter and the Wolf. We talked about this last week with the symphony. That is a free event. They do want you to register, though. That's at the Auburn Performing Arts Center. That is Sunday, April 26th. You can find information about that on auburnwa.gov/calendar. And then the last one was Our Faces, Our Futures. Did you want to talk about that? That's it. That's a Postmark.
Yes, that one is at Postmark. Andy Perkovich is a recipient of the Postmark Programming Grant, and so he is using that to put on the Our Faces, Our Futures and offering free professional headshots to Auburn residents.
Angie.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's so sick. Oh my
That's
God.
very
Yeah,
awesome.
that's really cool.
I did
Yeah.
see something about that. My LinkedIn picture is 6 years old. So
Yeah.
No,
maybe
it's
7.
actually a really
wow.
cool thing to do. I'm like, wow, everybody could use professional headshots.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you were a teenager
And there's
when
going to
you
be
did
2
that.
sessions of it. There's one coming up in April, and then there's one at the end of July on July 30th.
Yeah. So the one in April 30th, that's Thursday. So that's from 4 to 7.
Shocked.
So you can get off work or get a headshot.
Oh my God, I want a headshot.
for it?
Yeah. Let's do this.
Yeah.
It's super cool. It is free. So
Wait, you said you have to register or no?
Nope, we're not asking for registration ahead of time. He has his own system for getting the photos to you. So, yeah, it's just come on by from 4 to 7.
Period. Love.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Angie, it's trivia time.
Trivia.
It is Angie's Arena, is what we're tentatively calling this. I'm excited. It's what'd you say the trivia was again? It's about
Okay, so basically this is going to be about art in Auburn, and because of the Postmark membership, a couple about memberships.
okay. I'm
Okay.
excited. So the way that it works is there's supposed to be an odd number of questions. Hopefully she did that.
Yeah, I did.
So that there actually is a winner. We've never had a tie before, and we wouldn't know what to do if there was one.
Fight to the death.
So now we don't get ourselves in that situation anymore. But if you know the answer, just say it, and then Angie will decide who said it faster.
Okay.
And if you win, again, you don't get anything other than bragging rights.
I want a giant candy bar.
we will do that.
We'll give you an IOU for a candy bar.
Thank you.
IOU.
What? Oh, yeah, IOU? Were you thinking the letters? That's what people put on IOUs, but that's I didn't know how to answer that when you said
I
that.
feel sick. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, here we go.
I think
Lock in.
Okay, lock in. Okay. Okay. I don't know why I'm so nervous.
Free ASMR for the day.
Number 1, in which country did printmaking originate? And I
gosh.
have
Is it
multiple choice.
Okay, thank you.
These are all multiple choice. China, India, Egypt, Vietnam.
China.
India.
Egypt. Is it India?
It's China.
I feel like I should know that. I was going to be really annoyed at myself if I was wrong.
No, you're good.
Wow, good job.
Egypt kind of makes sense. I don't know.
They all kind of
They
make
all
sense.
kind of make sense, yeah. Okay. India made sense too. Okay. Number 2, regarding the sculpture of the 5 kids outside of City Hall. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Which decade was it created? The 70s, 80s, 90s, or 2000s?
Shoot.
80s?
70s.
80s? No idea.
Guys, come on.
I don't even know
90s.
which one you're talking about.
2000s. 90s.
90s?
Wait, when?
I think it was like 91.
Oh, okay. I was just going off of when
so
City Hall was built was the 70s. I didn't know if that was like soon after, but
Okay, cool.
that's a cool sculpture.
cool
Nobody's seen
sculpture.
it. It's kind of hanging out in the background.
Right when you go outside, you'll see it.
Yeah.
It's 5 kids.
Okay.
They're like running, right?
They're
it's
running.
like windy.
They are running. Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
we have those sculptures all around town too. Which
Is it like the metal like cutouts kind of? Oh,
It's like
okay.
bronze or
Gotcha.
looks
Gotcha.
bronze-ish.
Okay.
Number 3, how many sculptures make up the downtown sculpture
Oh,
gallery?
jeez.
Oh, I should know.
Is there multiple choice for like?
It's not because I thought
Is
it
it
would
less
be.
than 24?
I'm gonna guess
13.
20.
13.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You were right. 13.
Nobody's keeping
Who said-
track, by the way. I think
just
they
said
have
13.
two.
No, you guys have 2. Jonathan
Right now
has
it's
1.
13.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
13.
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
amazing.
We can edit the part out where you guys didn't know at first.
Thank you. I
That's a lot to
appreciate
keep track of. You know what's cool about the downtown
is,
sculpture
yes.
gallery is that they are always rotating.
They are always
So that's
rotating.
always like a fun treat. You'll go to one corner of the city and you'll be like, oh my God, there's a new sculpture here. And you get
Yeah.
to check it out
Every year.
every year. The ostrich, that was a fun one on the corner over by the parking garage that's now being built up. I enjoyed that one for a while.
That one's good.
I like that one.
Number 4, Auburn has a metal sculpture of a hare as part, not a hare like a piece of hair, but like a rabbit hair.
Rabbit. Mhm.
As part of its permanent public art collection. Where is it located?
Next to the Auburn Library.
Period.
Yeah.
Good job.
I was going to say Game Farm.
No,
Good
but it
job.
was an option for multiple choice.
Didn't even need the multiple choice.
This
Like, I know it.
is kind of a cop out because I just needed an odd number of stuff. But what year was the postmark built? 1924, 1932, 1937, 1954.
37.
Period. Yes.
You just had your. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, Amanda just did a post about the anniversary for it, so it was like a couple weeks ago.
Wow, 100 years will come up in 11 years.
Yeah. It's a centennial, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Centennial.
You know that thing people do where they're like, oh, in this show, like they mentioned this date that was going to be like 20 years later, and this is the maybe in 11 years they'll reference this video about the 100th year
We're
anniversary.
making history right here.
We're making history. Okay, 2 more. I mean, you guys have already won.
Okay.
And these 2 are about memberships. Number 6. What is the most subscribed membership in the U.S.? Netflix, Costco. Like, who has the most memberships? Okay,
It's hard.
Netflix, Costco, Amazon Prime, Spotify.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
I really don't want it to be Amazon, but I feel like I'm going to guess Amazon.
Okay.
I think it's Spotify.
Spotify, I was going to say. Yeah.
it is Amazon.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
We say that as if we're not all culprits.
I don't have a subscription.
That is true.
I mooch off of my fiance's.
I mooch off of James's. Okay. Number 7. In which country do citizens pay a yearly fee to watch live TV or live like public TV? Okay, go for it. I have multiple
UK?
choice. Yeah.
Oh. I
For-
did not even
for
have a guess.
BBC.
BBC, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
You guys
Wow.
blew that out of the water?
Yeah.
Is that what they say?
That is a saying, yeah.
So is IOU.
What was the saying that you didn't know the other day? Do you remember it?
No.
I don't either.
What was that thing you didn't know the other day?
What do you
that's
still
a hard
not
question.
know? Remember you kept saying it. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Is that it? They won?
That's it.
Wow,
they
good job.
won. You won Angie's
won a trivia
Arena.
thing.
Candy bars.
Oh my
The
god.
first Angie's Arena winner.
IOU.
Yeah, we owe
Very
you.
educational.
You know what I think about how you were talking about like years and shows? It's like the year you were born. Well, for me, it was 1990. And I'm 35 now, which means that from where I was born to now, being 35 years, if I went the other way, it'd be 1955. When I was a kid, if you thought about 1955, you're like, wow, that's the oldest thing on the planet. They're ancient. It's black and white. What the heck is that? But then it's like, now I'm there. But the other way, it's like you talk to a kid born today and they're like, what? 1990? What the? You're like, no, it wasn't like that.
That's like what the 80s is like for me. Because right now, people who were like the 2000s is what the 80s was when I was born in 2001.
Yeah.
And it's just like 80s seemed like so old. And now it's like that's just what 2000 is now.
Yep.
And then I think of MLK and I'm like, that was not that long ago at all.
Yeah,
really
like the moon
wasn't.
landing, that was less than the age I am now. So from 1990. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Well, anyway, with that being said, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
it,
us.
Postmark crew.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure. We'll have you come back and I don't know, whenever.
There are so many of you. So many to choose
There's a
from.
lot of us.
So
Yeah.
it's-
You'll have an intern, I'm sure, right?
will we?
I don't know.
Oh,
If we're gonna have one.
well, if you do, we'll see them around. We'll have an intern. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
All
thank you
right.
guys. This was fun.
Take care now.
yeah, thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.